morning. If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship. One, two, last line. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. This peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. This life I have, the world didn't give it to me. This life I have, the world didn't give it to me. This life I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Take it away.
Well, good morning and welcome. I timed that perfectly right. I got up here in time to get everybody applauding at me. Not true, not true. Well, there's always good energy here. And Libby and I were gone, as some of you noticed, for the last 3 Sundays, where we were in the land of trees, water, and very good energy, the Keweenaw Peninsula and the Upper Peninsula. I highly recommend it. If you are a first-timer here, we're certainly glad you're here, and we invite you to participate in fellowship at the end of the service. If you, like most of the people I see, have been coming here for quite some time, then you know the routine. We are, as everyone knows, a very welcoming community. So we have some announcements. The End of Life series, this is starting today. It's going to meet here in the sanctuary at 12 o'clock. And if you have not prepared for the end of your life, this would be a good meeting to come to, because it's going to talk about your possessions, who's going to get them, what's going to happen. And we don't want to be caught by surprise. Most of us still plan to live for a few more decades, but there's no guarantee. So it'll be a wonderful meeting, and 12 o'clock on the button so we can end on time and get out and enjoy this beautiful day. Someone that many of you know who haven't perhaps seen in a while will be attending on September 20th to give a talk at 6:15 about his latest hiking escapades. That's Dick Mallory, and I believe, yeah, it's Friday here at 6:15. The next day will be a in-house concert and potluck at the home of Cilla Payne and Steve Orr. And guess who's going to be doing the concert? None other than Kit Holmes. So the potluck will begin at 5, and the concert will begin at about 6. There is a suggested love offering of $25, and guests will donate as they walk in. I don't know if that means you won't be able to get in if you don't donate, but there's no comment about that. But you can RSVP via something I've never heard of, but Eventbrite. Yes.
I've got some flyers on my table that have that address, and it has a QR code, so you can take one with you. That's how you RSVP. Just a side note on that, it'll say tickets are free. It's still just so you can pay at the door, so you don't have to mess with credit cards or signing up or anything online. But please RSVP just so we know how much space we got. So thank you. Thank you.
All right. I'm still trying to get caught up on things like TikTok, and I still don't know what it is. And it's rare to see one of those. Everybody's looking at their smartphone, or is it a smartwatch or just a watch? Well, anyway, the grief group is also going to meet today, and that's going to follow fellowship. Everyone is welcome, and if you have questions, you can talk to Christine. But I didn't see her. Oh, there you are. What time is that going to happen? Right after the service? Oh, so it's 2 in 1. Okay. All right. Whew. Okay, time for a song.
If you'd like to stand. No more fighting, hearts united, all one people, all one dream.
Well, I invite you to go into that space of stillness and quiet for an opening prayer. And give thought to the word transition. At this time of the year, of course, things are transitioning, perhaps a little more obvious than throughout the summer. And so as we look around the beauty of our environment, our community, we behold the wonders of the place that we call home. And when we go within, we recognize the transition that we're dealing with on an individual basis. So whenever we sense that there's some difficulty in these transitions, we just remember God is in charge and all is well. And we give thanks. Amen. Let's affirm together the statement of unity as it appears on the screen. Together. Every thought of God, life, strengthens and heals me. And let's affirm together as we call Marianne to come up. Marianne Kachalia.
Good morning. So today is Earth Care Sunday, where we take a moment to recommit to our care of Mother Earth and all her inhabitants. And today's power from the 12 Powers for Our Planet initiative that Unity Worldwide Ministries has set up is the power of imagination. And William Blake, an English poet and visionary, wrote, "The tree which moves some to tears of joy is in the eyes of others only a green thing that stands in the way. Some see nature all ridicule and deformity, and some scarcely see nature at all. But to the eyes of the man of imagination, nature is imagination itself." So as we stand in awe of the beauty of the nature that surrounds us, let us read together our Earth Care Covenant. Together, our consciousness reveals that all of creation is connected as one. As a people of faith, we commit to a renewed reverence for life and respect for the interdependent web of all existence. We envision a world where all beings are assured a secure and meaningful life that is ecologically responsible and sustainable. We agree to transform our individual and congregational lives into acts of moral witness, discarding harmful habits for new behaviors that demonstrate our respect for this harmony and interconnectedness. We declare our covenant with God to walk lightly upon the earth for the creation of good of all creation. Now, before we read the affirmation power, one of the greatest gifts God has given us is the power of imagination. And it comes from the word to hold an image firmly in mind. So this is the first step toward bringing that form into manifestation. So as we affirm this power together, let's imagine a world. I mean, we're surrounded by beauty and clean air and water and a healthy environment. And there's so many places in the world that are not, that are really suffering. So let's imagine a world where all the air and water is clean, the forests and the meadows are rewilded, and all life is natured and allowed to thrive. So together, let us affirm. Divine awareness reveals the power of imagination at work as me, through me, for all. Imagination fuels the flow of good, healing, and peace for all beings. And then the Compassionate Choices group has an affirmation card and a little charm gift for you today. The charm is of the third eye chakra, which is located in the center of the forehead and represents imagination. One of the things it represents is imagination. So please be sure to take this card and charm. After this service, they'll be in the back. And thank you.
You can remain seated. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like a mountain, I've got love like a mountain, I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got love like a mountain, I've got love like a mountain, I've got love like a mountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain in my soul.
Well, in case you're new, I forgot to identify myself. My name is Michael Robold, and I'm delighted to be the worship assistant today. In a little while, you're going to hear some uplifting words from Kit Holmes. It's always great to have Kit here. And now it's that time when we do go within. Now, it's possible that someone has a difficult time closing their eyes. And so if that happens to be you, I would invite you to just gaze up at the beautiful stained glass or the wonderful art piece, because it's all about going within and connecting with our natural world. And so if you do close your eyes, just become aware of the physical body relaxing, releasing any tension that you might be feeling in these times of challenge. And recognize that we are here because we are meant to be part of the solutions to the challenges. And when we look at nature, we see often turbulence and destruction. And yet, out of that arises new life. And so when we go within, we too are in the process of continuous transformation. When we were children, we behaved a certain way. Sometimes rather upsetting to perhaps our parents. But now we are grown, and perhaps we've experienced children of our own or others who just possibly upset us now and then. And so we look at how we resolved the challenging times in our life. Just as nature, God, resolves the challenges of planetary activity. The idea of transformation and transition is a constant. So as you go into this time of stillness and silence, give thought to what lies ahead for you to transform, to transition into, and knowing that God is always there, guiding the way. Thank you, God. Thank you for my life. Thank you for all the beauty that you have bestowed upon this planet. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate in the health of the planet and all its inhabitants. And to participate especially in my own health by making choices of how I think, what I say, and what I do with all those who are part of my life, all those who I just encounter for a brief time. Truly, we are all making a difference, a positive one. And for this we give thanks. Amen. And now we have special music.
Thank you, Michael. This first song, is written by a couple of friends of mine on the West Coast, Bev Barnett and Greg Newland. I just want to give them credit for that, for this beautiful song called We Are. We are light and we are darkness. We are sun and we are rain. Every step along this journey reminds us we're the same. We are truth and we are blessing. We are all we need to be. Every step along this journey reminds us we are free. We are joyfulness and kindness. We are peace and we are just. Every step along this journey reminds us we are loved. We are darkness, we are daylight.
Thank you, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Ken. Ken Dinkins joining on guitar today. Thank you, Ernie and Rolland. Sounding really great this morning. Every step along the journey reminds us we are one. Every single step. I was reading, how many of you, are you familiar with Mark Nepo? Yep, the Book of Awakening, the daily meditations. And yesterday's was a standing meditation, contemplating the idea of next steps. And contemplating that one place that we stand, wherever we stand. And contemplating, recognizing, accepting, acknowledging, embracing that it is holy ground. And that the step that we take, the next step, like that, no one will ever take that step except you. That kind of pulls you back down to the basics, doesn't it? And we are one with that. I know it's a little bit like, what? Wait. How often do we just get up and we walk? We just start walking. We don't even think about, we are in that pattern of, I'm getting up, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to make my coffee, I'm going to do whatever. We don't even think about that first step that we take every single day, every single moment. And it is all of us doing it. It is that oneness, being in the oneness. The talk title today is Waking Up to Oneness. Recognizing it's the namaste, recognizing the God in ourselves and each other, acknowledging it, holding that space when things are a little challenging. So there's 3 parts to this oneness thing. And it's the short thing that I like to use. It's called the God, me, we. God first. Me, my connection to source. And then the we. How often do you wake up in the morning, the very first thing, and you go, I am at peace with everyone and everything? I like the nods of heads, like the honest, like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I also like the smiles and the chuckles. It's like, no, my first thought isn't usually, wow, I am at peace. My first thought is usually the to-do list. I'm in a very, very intense practice with myself right now about making sure it's like that first thought. Like, grab it as soon as I'm like coming out of the dream state, coming out of the half sleep, going, oh, okay, wow. So the oneness that we are, the one thing, that first unity principle, God is all there is. God is everything. God is all of creation. God is in and through and as everything. That's our first premise. That's where we start with the oneness. Is just wrapping around, just contemplating. If that's your morning meditation, just that very idea of saying repeatedly, God is all there is. And you do it enough and you repeat it enough throughout your day. In our practice, we do this. I hope that we do this. It is the grounding force. It is the holy ground. It is the sacred ground where everything is built upon. And really wrapping your head around that. I'm trying to wrap my head around that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, it's mind-blowing to really feel yourself slip into that space of going, okay, if God is all there is, period, wow. In every material thing that we can touch with our physical senses, taste, smell, see, hear, our emotions, our sensations, our thoughts, all come from the one. It's big stuff. It's you know this, right? The infinite way. Joel Goldsmith says, seeking guidance from God. This is an interesting concept. Seeking guidance from God will set up a sense of separation from God. You say, well, how does that work? It gives the sense of God and someone needing help, direction, or wisdom. And this is the important part of that contemplation. He says, actually, you need to let God be your life. Then it, with a capital I, lives, acts, performs, and is your very being. It's a little word, huge distinction. To let God be our lives. We talk a lot of, and we do affirmative prayer, but we talk a lot about prayer, and in that idea, something that comes around to me again and again, is that as soon as I go, hey God, I have just separated myself from God. If it lives within me, and it does, and it lives within you, it lives within all of us, the minute I go out, God help in this moment, help. I'm in a sense of separation from it. That first thought in the morning, that first step on the journey in the morning is catch that thought that makes me feel separate and go, okay, I am one with it. That's the part 2. Contemplating the idea that it lives and moves, it has its being in us, and I am an individualized expression of it. You following? Okay. We are conditioned, of course. We are conditioned to think that that thing that made everything is out there somewhere. Long history of humanity, of when we are contemplating ourselves and why we are here and how things work and how the world got here. Outside of us, something much bigger than us. But we are not separate from it. That is the core of this teaching. We are made in, that second unity principle. We are made in the image of God. All of the mystical faith traditions, all of that, there is a oneness piece in that. Yes, there is. We are not the all of God. You've heard the holographic thing. We are a drop in the ocean. We are not all of the ocean, but all of the ocean is within us. That's just one iteration of that. So our next practice becomes that second part. Sitting in joyful contemplation, I would hope it would be joyful when we go, wow, God is all there is. That means everything is available to me. Every idea, every answer, every solution, every bit of source supply for the asking. And our practice in that second part of our oneness is working on whether or not we believe we deserve to have it. That's a real big piece of things. It has been a real big piece in my life of getting to a place where I can actually say, I'm God expressing and not feel like, oh, well, maybe that's not true. Some days I express in more animated ways than others. That I'm maybe not. I'm not as kind. Maybe I'm not as aware. And that's really what this is about, is our oneness with it is just a practice of awareness. It's the consciousness of being in this beautiful, inseparable, unseverable relationship with Source. And it's really an amazing thing when we can take the time. And it's not like sitting for hours and hours and hours in meditation. It is a daily practice of noticing. Noticing where I feel separate. Noticing where I feel like I don't have enough. Noticing when I'm a little agitated because things aren't going my way. That sense of separation is the core wound. All the way back to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, where we got our free will. But if you contemplate that, it even goes back to, I think that was part of the plan. How could it not be? And we go back to that idea of separation from Source. And the minute we go to separation from Source, we go back to the metaphor of the garden of good and or the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's a metaphor. It gives us contrast. But it also gave us that thing where maybe we're not worthy of God's love. But the idea around that was we have distinction to say that God's wisdom and grace and love and plenty and abundance is available to us at all times unless we decide we know better. And that was the separation. We turned away from God's wisdom to our own. And said, I trust myself more than I trust that thing that created everything. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Our focus on our awareness, our contemplation, our meditation on our awareness of our connection to God is very self-loving. It is very self-aware. It is a practice of self-awareness to keep ourselves in that consciousness of, I am never separate from God. We can get into, this is a word about narcissism. We can get into our practice of, yes, I'm self-aware. It's when we tip from self-aware to self-absorbed. Because that is just another outpicturing of our belief in separation. The narcissist, the definition we have traditionally seen is it's somebody just so full of themselves and they think that they're better than everyone else and blah, 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 blah. But what we know through psychology, what we know through philosophy, what we know, all of that is there is a very, very, very large core wound about a belief in separation. And the narcissist's self-absorbed behaviors outpicture all of that pain of feeling like they're separate. And rather than moving through, finding a way to heal that pain, to get back to the source, it is all projection. It's your fault. It's their fault. It's this, it's this, it's this, it's everybody but me. Everybody needs to love me. That's the only way I'm going to feel better about myself. And we know that is not the way to live. It is a painful and sometimes dangerous way to live because of what it does to all of the other divine beings who are doing their work like we do. Healing those wounds, moving through them, having the courage to move through them. So what do we do in step 3? God is one, Me is the second one. Me from a place of knowing I am loved unconditionally by Source because it lives in me. I am an outpicturing of it. I am an individualized expression of it. And the third one is so the oneness that we have with each other. When we recognize that God is in each of us, that means it's in everybody else too. Regardless of the undesirable behaviors or the hurtful behaviors of those people in pain. But when we know, when we heal our own, and we get to that place of beautiful compassion, we can see the hurt people in the world. We can see, and we see it often, how hurt people hurt people. So compassionate justice with that is, yes, we are all to be held accountable for our behavior, good, bad, or indifferent. But with a more compassionate idea where we simply hold in consciousness. Why? Because we are one with the one heart. We are one with the one mind. We can do that work in our affirmative prayer. We just did that prayer for the earth today, holding it in collective consciousness. It doesn't mean that we're sitting in the room right now and we're all going to go out and start upping our recycling or doing some other things, or we're going to go, you know what I mean? It's like the action step isn't, we are all going to go do this and that's going to change it. It starts in mind first. We hold it in mind. So we hold the collective of an idea of peace and love and compassion and healing for those who are hurting. And if we can see that, I'm not talking about going and knocking on somebody's door and saying, I don't agree with you and I think you need to be healed. There are some religions that do that. You need to be healed. Get in here. I'm going to smack the devil out of you. Yeah. But we can hold that in consciousness. We can picture that person that we have that pushes all our buttons and rubs us the wrong way. We can hold that in our affirmative prayer and say, I send you love. I send you peace. I send you joy. That is a little version of the loving kindness prayer. The namaste. I don't have to physically be sitting in front of you to send you peace and joy and love and compassion. To know for you and about you, as we do in affirmative prayer. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Because when we pray this way, with the loving kindness type of prayer, we keep ourselves in that high vibration of love. We don't go down here and say, well, I'm going to pray for them only if they change and do this and this and this. No. I'm going to keep my vibration here. And there are enough of us around the globe that do this all the time. We gather in community to do this. We do it through our group meditation in here. We do it through the gathering prayer. We do it when we sing together. So waking up to oneness, God, me, we. Real simple. Real simple. And, as you well know, challenging to do. Very challenging to do. But that's our work. That's our work. That's why we're here. I'm going to leave you with one oneness thing. Billboards and picket signs do not change minds. We know that. But real respectful conversations do. Our affirmative prayers do. When we know our connection to Source, our unmistakable connection to Source, we can see it in others, not just the people that we love and agree with. We can see it in others. So it's our practice to be so certain of that, so certain from our heart, not from here. It takes this, yes, but it takes this, that we are so certain of our connection. That's the Christ consciousness. It is being so we can see it. There was a wise Zen master who went to visit New York City. And he saw one of the hot dog vendors on the street. And he walked up to the cart, and what was it that he said? Thank you, Julie. Make me one with everything. So the hot dog vendor made the hot dog, gave it to the Zen master. The Zen master paid with a $20 bill. And the vendor put the $20 bill in the cash box and closed it. And the Zen master said, well, what about my change? And the vendor said, the change must come from within. So, the change must come from within, and we know that. That's our practice. Thank you. Thank you very much today. Thank you. I just want to make one more comment about the house concert. For those of you, I know some of you here have been to my concerts before. I will do many, many songs that I will never play in church. That's all I'm going to say. So if that piques your interest, please come in, get those flyers from my table and make your reservations. It's going to be a great time, and thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Kit. And thank all of you for coming today. This is a time, of course, that we have the opportunity to share. And since we're all one, how does that work? We're all going to... Each one of us gives according to our capability and our desire to see the value of this entity called Unity of Traverse City continue on. And I think we all are here because we see its value. So, we may give in the form of cash, check, even credit card, or we may give in the form of service. However we give, we are helping one another to see the growth of this program and how it affects ourselves and others in a very positive way. So whether you're holding something in your hand or you're holding in your thoughts the value of what you're contributing, let's affirm with our prosperity blessing, which is on the screen together. I am grateful for the opportunity to choose how I see the world, and I choose to see a world of peace, love, and prosperity. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wanna reach out to my brother with the arms of love, a love that knows no bounds. There is strength and there is courage, enough to go around. I want to listen to my sister with the ears of love,
so deep and so right. There's patience and forgiveness, compassion and light. Through the eyes of love, everything is clear. Living in the moment, living right here. I want to fill the world with the hands of love, with my neighbors across the land. With love, the foundation, we got a real good place to stand. Through the eyes of love, everything is clear. Living in the moment, living right. Through the eyes of love, there is only one heart, one mind, and an army of harmony, dancing to the rhythm of life. La 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 la, la 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 la. When we see this world through the eyes of love, a love so deep in our hearts, everything's beautiful. Through the eyes of love, everything's clear. Living in the moment, living right here. Through the eyes of love, there is only one heart and one mind, and an army of harmony, dancing to the rhythm of life. La 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 la, to the rhythm of life. La 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 la, to the rhythm of life. La 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 la, to the rhythm of life. La 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 la, la la la. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, Kit. Thank you again, the boys in the band with Carol. And if Bob didn't have enough to do, and if by chance you're here for the first time, you probably are having the sense that we're here to share and to have fun. So you're all invited to attend the fellowship and the refreshments at the other end as soon as the service is finished. And for that, we'll gather in a circle. If you have some special concern about yourself or anyone or any situation, we have prayer chaplains available. One will be up in the front, one will be in the hallway. Remember, in about 2 weeks, the special events that were mentioned in the announcements, the Friday talk from Dick Mallory, and certainly the Saturday potluck and concert at Scylla and Steve's house. Not sure there's anything else, but we'll close with a prayer followed by the prayer of protection and the peace song. And so at this time, if you have a special need for yourself or another, just put that right here in the middle of this group and let all the energy emanating from each and every one of us work on its behalf. If you feel like mentioning it or that individual out loud, feel free to do that. So as we give thought to these individual concerns and give thought to our capability to heal the world by sending out the love, compassion, and peace that lies within each one of us, that makes us truly connected to the one, as well as, of course, connected to one another. May we be so thankful for each and every person who is in our life, as we all make a difference. And so we give thanks, and let's together affirm the prayer of protection. God surrounds us with love of